Hey guys, we're on our way back from the Outer Banks trip. It was really fun.
Yes.
We got to do a lot of stuff, got to have a few beach days, even with the rain. It was storming a lot, but we had a great time. But we're back with another how to flip video. And today we are basically gonna be talking about how to find your very first flip, what you should be looking for in a good flip with a good return, and different strategies. We're gonna jump right into it. So first off is where to find flip opportunities. So there's a few different ways actually. There's pros and cons to all of them. But the first way is through MLS. So through Zillow, if you're a real estate agent or you have an agent, they have access to the MLS. That is where you are going to find properties that are on the market. Another way you can do it is anything like auctions or foreclosures. Now, those you're going to be taking as is, but I mean, with a flip, you kind of figure that you're going to do that either way. But you're going to be basically working with the bank for those types of deals. Sometimes there is an agent with those, but typically you're going to be working with the bank, so they don't have as much information as a real estate agent would, or like a seller would. Another great way to find properties is through wholesalers. So with those, you are basically connected through a middleman, quote unquote, who is connecting the seller of a property with potential buyers.
Another great way to find a potential flip is go around your neighborhood in your car, have a sticky note with a pen, and then look for the houses that have like overgrown grass, look like they don't take care of it, and those usually they want to sell the house because they don't take care of it or they don't want it. So you see those houses, get the sticky note, write your name and number, like I'm interested in buying your house, and then just leave it on their door. Say what?
I hope they don't pull us over because we're recording.
It's literally animal control.
Okay, my sister is going to talk about the D's of real estate.
Okay. So, first one, divorce. They don't want the house. They want a divorce. So, there you are. You know, it's your house now. Disaster. Hurricane. Tornado. Something ruined the house. They don't want to fix it. Death. Grandma died. Who wants a house now?
Probate.
They want to sell it. Disaster, like a natural disaster type of situation, or damage, like the foundation, something crazy happens or something, and they don't want to fix it because it's a lot of money, and they'd rather just move the heck out because they don't know how to deal with stuff like that. They just like someone else deal with this.
So there's also debt, where maybe someone, I don't know, has liens on the property and they can't afford to pay it off. Or maybe it's a tax lien. Those are really bad. You have to assume that you're going to take over the lien whenever you purchase the property, most likely. So that's something to think about. But these are all ways to find properties and good investments to flip. Now I'm going to go more in depth of the ways that you can find properties. So the first one we mentioned was finding properties through the MLS. Now, there are some good pros to doing so. You have a lot more options because the MLS has lots and lots of listings, some new, some old, there's lots of them. You also have more access to doing CMAs, getting more information, and it's sometimes just easier to do. If you're new to investing or flipping, sometimes using the MLS could be a good idea. Some of the cons of using the MLS is the sellers may have higher expectations. Another pro is financing can be a little bit more lenient, meaning there's more options of using FHA, conventional, hard money. Another possible con is there could be a lot more competition, a lot more negotiating, and there might not be as many huge discounts unless if you catch a price drop. And another con is the seller's expectations may be high.
Also, you can find properties on Craigslist even, or Facebook Marketplace, stuff like that.
Next is foreclosures and auctions. Sometimes you could find a really hidden gem, some really nice deals, discounted properties. You have less emotional sellers. The banks just want it to close. They just want it sold because remember that is high risk on the bank. Even though they have collateral, they want it to be sold and out of their hands, out of their possession. Now here's some cons. Most foreclosures and auctions are cash only. And the other big con is a lot of foreclosures, you aren't able to inspect the house. Some of them you're not even able to look at the house before you buy it, which could be a really big red flag because you don't know what repairs need to be done. Sometimes you don't even know how it looks on the inside of a house. The other huge con is it might come with liens, it might come with back taxes, and if you're lucky enough, it might come with squatters as well. So, again, high risk, high reward potentially. You just have to know the risks involved. Another thing is if you're new, it might be very risky for repair estimating. If you go into the house and say, oh, well, that doesn't look too bad, and you're new and unexperienced, then you get the real deal to come into the house and evaluate everything, and they say, ooh, that's a huge repair that needs to be done, then you're out of luck. Next up, we're going to talk about wholesalers. Now, my sister is going to start off the conversation.
So sometimes wholesalers could exaggerate, and I'm going to tell you, oh yeah, this house, the only thing it needs is some new carpet. Yeah, that's all it needs. And you go up in there, it's a hoarder house, it's got foundation issues, it's got this, that, and the other. So they're just trying to sell the house and get their money. So I would also do your own comps, because they'll try to tell you comps too that might not be accurate. I'm not saying all of them will, but do your own research first. Just don't trust anybody.
The biggest thing about all this is do your own due diligence before you get into something. Basically, what wholesalers are is they're middlemen who find off-market deals, lock them under contract, and find the buyer. So they are middlemen. That's essentially what they are. But my sister is going to add to that.
So a lot of time with wholesalers, with the earnest money deposit, they'll charge you an arm and a leg sometimes. Earnest money deposits usually without wholesalers are like $500, maybe $1,000. Sometimes with them it's like $2,000 to, I've even seen up to $7,000. So just keep that in mind. Also, negotiate with the wholesaler because they're gonna jack the price up from what the seller actually wants to sell it for, so that they get compensated as well.
So that leads me to where you can find wholesalers. So you might be wondering, okay, well, that's all nice and everything, but how do I find real estate wholesalers? Well, one great way to find them is, when you're driving around on the interstate or just through a neighborhood and you see those signs that say, we buy houses, and they have a phone number on them. So what you can do is call that phone number, and most likely you're going to be able to catch a wholesaler on the line. So what you do is you just kind of give them your information or whatever you want to do, and just tell them you're a real estate investor looking for deals, you're looking to buy properties. Ask them to add you to their email blast. So what's going to happen with that is they're going to start emailing you deals that match your criteria, and it's kind of like a first come first serve basis. So you see the deal, if it's something that you're interested in, you email back and you say, hey, I like this, I want to see it. It's a little bit different from seeing them with a real estate agent because it's off the market per se, but it's still a very good way to find properties. And another great thing to do, which is what my sister does, is join Facebook groups, like things that are titled real estate investing groups. And sometimes there will be Facebook groups in certain neighborhoods or like a city. So for instance, type in, like for us, Norfolk real estate investing or something like that, for wherever you live, to find deals that come up. Now, a good thing about wholesalers is you can kind of build rapport or like a relationship with the wholesalers and kind of get first dibs on some of the properties. So that is a great thing to kind of get yourself into if you want to. Biggest thing, the wholesalers, is do your math, do your research, and don't let them scam you. Last but not least, we have the off-market direct to seller, which basically with that, the biggest pro is you get to facilitate the whole deal. What you have to do is some sort of marketing to where you're either making cold calls or you're sending out flyers or postcards directly to properties where the owner might be wanting to sell. Now, this requires a lot of rapport with the seller and a lot of follow-up. So this might not be the best option for someone who is new and doesn't have a system in place yet, but there could be a lot of high reward with this. This one could also have the best profit margins. Even if you're just getting started, practice running numbers on random properties. It's basically like running up reps in the gym, except it's running up reps in your brain for real estate investing. All right, y'all, that's a wrap for this episode. If you're just getting started, remember, stay focused, trust the numbers, and don't be afraid to ask questions. We're just getting started, but we'll be sharing everything we learn, all the wins and all the fails, so that you will know as well. So stick with us, follow us for the journey, and let's grow together. Make sure to like and comment if you learned something new. Also comment what we should do for our next topic in our next episode. Peace out. Have a great weekend. Bye.